It's 11 to 10. Thank you for joining us.
The Score with Babe Laufenberg is next. Good night.
The NASCAR has lost its greatest driver ever. And I personally have lost a great friend.
Michael Waltrip wins!
In a nutshell, what drives me to still want to play is the simple fact that I know I can still play.
Hello everyone, I'm Babe Laufenberg and welcome to The Score. A big day in sports, and we'll have it all covered for you. Now, everyone is wondering where the discussions between Jerry Jones and Troy Aikman are going. So we sat down with Aikman one-on-one to find out. Coming up in just a moment, the Cowboys quarterback sets the record straight, and don't hit your remote because you won't find it anywhere else. In an all-too-familiar refrain, tragedy struck the NASCAR community today at Winston Cup showcase event, the Daytona 500. After losing 3 drivers last year, perhaps the sport's biggest name died today, as 7-time Winston Cup champion Dale Earnhardt hit the wall on the last lap and died instantly. The 49-year-old Earnhardt, known to his fans as the Intimidator, took a moment to embrace his son before today's race. At the time of the accident, Earnhardt was running third when a half mile from the finish line, he was grazed by Sterling Marlin's car, ran up the high-banked fourth turn at roughly 180 miles per hour, was hit from behind by Ken Schrader. It's Earnhardt's number 3 there, of course. Earnhardt died instantly of head injuries, according to a doctor at the hospital where he was taken, leaving the NASCAR community going through a familiar exercise, mourning the death of one of their own.
This is undoubtedly one of the toughest announcements that I've ever personally had to make. But after the accident and turn 4 at the end of the Daytona 500, we've lost Dale Earnhardt.
He had what I feel were life-ending type injuries at the time of impact, and really nothing could be done for him.
The Earnhardt name was no stranger to victory lane here in Texas, but it was Dale Earnhardt Jr. winning the Winston Cup event at Texas Motor Speedway last year. CBS 11's Brian Custer has more reaction.
Thanks, Babe. We're here with Eddie Gossage, of course, the president of the Texas Motor Speedway. Your first thoughts when you heard about the news of Dale Earnhardt, your reaction?
It simply can't be true. It's, you know, of all the guys, that's the toughest guy of them all, and you know, I've seen him have 100 wrecks, and he just gets out of the car and goes on, and there's no understanding why. It's just a sad, sad tragedy, and our hearts goes out to Dale's family and all his millions of fans. This has been a devastating loss to a lot of people around this country.
For those who aren't up on race car racing and things of that nature, what does his death mean to NASCAR?
It'd be as if Babe Ruth died playing baseball, or Joe Montana died playing football. I mean, he is the icon that is the sport and has been for the last 20 years. He took the handoff from Richard Petty and has carried us onward and upward. And so, of all people, this guy is the one I think most people represent or hold up as what NASCAR and what auto racing is all about. And I got to tell you that I think if other athletes live their lives the way Dale lived his and conduct themselves the way he conducted himself, both in the competition and also as a human being, this was a good man, and other athletes would be good to hold him up as what a champion ought to be.
Give me your last vivid memory of Dale Earnhardt the last time you spoke with him. I know Junior won here at the Motor Speedway just last year.
I think he got more pleasure out of seeing Dale Jr. do well than he did doing well himself. But, you know, he was a good man. He was just a good person and a good father, and as any father would, he was just beside himself at his son's success.
Dale Earnhardt, no doubt his death is a big loss not only to NASCAR but to the sporting world. Eddie Gossage, thank you very much. Babe, back to you.
7-time Winston Cup champion Dale Earnhardt dead at the age of 49.